eat breakfast in bed. I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me. And since I don't have a butler, I have to do it myself.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I am the Austinator, and this is Austinator and Angry CareBears talk movies. We review movies finally again. Yeah! I know it's been like, hang on, now I gotta recheck what last time we did it. Oh my god, it's been so long.
Hey.
What the hell? 3 months ago! It's been 3 months since,
Whew.
a little long, but we are back. We are back, and today it is the long-awaited review of Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Oh boy, is this
Spoiler
movie
alert,
an
it was
experience. No, it was not. Now, before we begin, yes, it's been a while since we actually done this, so we're gonna be a little rusty. But the way I think we do this is we talk about our positives, our negatives. We talk about our overall thoughts, and we give our final grades, and that kind of jazz. This one, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more negatives than positives, but but before we begin, we're gonna go into the analytics side, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what was supposed to happen with this film, because this movie was fucking... Oh, boy, there was a lot of rewrites for this one. So this movie came out on September 13th, 1991. And its budget was 9 to 11 million. Angry CareBears, what do you think? What do you think its box office was?
Only a few million. 5 million?
You're far off.
Oh, no.
Want to take another guess?
10 million.
Again, not even close.
Do I need to go up or down?
Up. You get another guess.
20 million?
Wrong again. It made 34.9 million.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to rejoin real quick. My computer.
All right, no problem. I will hold down the fort till then. So yeah, this movie made fucking a shit ton of money. Again. Oh man. Oh Jesus. Oh god. Oh no. Oh jeez. Oh god, I screwed something up. Oh no. I did it again. Fuck. I fucked it up. Fucked it up again. Austin's fucking shit up again. So now I gotta figure out
Oh boy. My computer's fantastic.
It's tremendous.
It's not even old. I just got it last year.
It's oh jeez.
Yeah.
Well anyway, so it made over 30 million. I mean, a little too much.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Before we begin, do you want to hear some of the original ideas for this?
Absolutely. I love hearing the original ideas on what it could be.
So, the original idea was, so remember in Nightmare 5, you know how the main character had a son?
Yes.
Well, her son was going to be the main character, and they were going to bring back the Dream Warriors from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 to help Jacob after the mom died.
Okay, but like they're dead too, though.
It was going to be their spirits.
Okay. Not good, but better than what we got.
And then there was going to be another idea where Freddy was basically a washed-up has-been, and then the kids would just go in and beat him up until, Freddy just decides, fuck it, and then he kills the kid, and then they're like, oh my god, he killed us!
Bruh, what?
I shit you not, these were the ideas for this.
Alright, okay.
So Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. This was bad. We'll go to our overall thoughts first. Hey, CareBears, what do you think of Freddy's Dead?
Why does it exist?
Good answer. This movie's not very good. I mean...
No.
There's really no redemption to it. I mean, the only good thing is it's not called A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's actually just called Freddy's Dead. So that has no correlation to any of these films
Other
whatsoever.
Than just Freddy.
Exactly. And Freddy looked fucking horrible in this film. Like, there's so much wrong with it that
he looks too pink. He looks too pink. I don't know. Like, he just doesn't look grotesque like he did in the originals. He just looks... It looks like a Spirit of Halloween mask.
It kind of does, not gonna lie. He looks pretty bad. Jack's Law's like, wow, it's you. I know, man, it's been a while, a couple months since we last done this. This movie was bad. We watched this together, in fact.
Yeah.
Like...
Ooh. I like the cameo. I think one thing I remember, because I blocked out a lot of it, is the cameo by Johnny Depp. I think that's the only thing that I went, oh wow, look at that, and then the rest of the movie was like, when's this gonna end? When's it gonna end?
That was my thoughts as well. But before I get into the meat and potatoes of the negatives, let's talk about the positives if we have any. Angry CareBears, do you have any positives, if any?
They got some songs playing. They were pretty much bangers. I liked how they brought back the one twist type thing. I didn't think it was, like, fantastic in the execution. But I like how they introduced, like, the guy, and you think he's going to be the main character. And then he ends up not being it, like Tina in the original, and then it switches to Nancy. I did like that. I mean, like I said, it wasn't good in execution, but it was a good idea to bring back, to just, like, switch it up. I like the cameo by Johnny Depp. I thought it was fun, what was the deaf kid's name? That was Ricky, right?
I think it was Carlos.
Why did I think Ricky? Okay. I really thought that his whole, like, how he needs a hearing aid was really interesting. And I think that the whole scenario of him getting attacked by Freddy with being deaf was such a great idea, especially with the whole, like, how he could, like, burst his ears and stuff like that. And just the tension was really good. However, they didn't do a very good job with it. I made it way too cartoony, and it just didn't hit right. They didn't direct it, I think, in the best way that they could. They didn't do more of horror, and they ruined the suspense with goofy sound effects. But I'm like, this could have been so good. And at points, it was getting there, but it just never hit the mark. I thought his death was probably the best because I liked the scenario, even if it wasn't the best. But it was actually a point where I was actually feeling a bit of suspense, and then they ruined it with some cartoon sound effects, which is like, man, I like just his eardrums like bursting is it sounds so awful, but the way they made his ears look and how his head was like pulsating and stuff, not a fan of. I just thought it looked silly instead of like painful. But
Exactly.
that's all I really gotta say. The music, the one scenario, and how they had a twist in the cameo. That was kind of it. At least what I can remember.
First things first, LDG, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. It's been
Yes, it was the one with the 3D glasses ending.
yes, it was, and it was horrible.
I can't believe I just said that.
He blew up in the end. Yes, yes, he did. He did indeed blow up.
It was stupid.
Imagine this is the final movie, and the way he goes out is just he gets blown up. That's creative.
With a woman with 3D glasses, of all things.
That was fucking stupid.
Just,
LED's like, oh my god, I hated that one.
I don't think I can name a single person who disagrees.
Like, if somebody disagrees, they just don't understand movies.
They got something wrong. There's something wrong with them. Or it's the only one they saw. And even then, I don't think it's a good movie on its own.
No, it's not. Like, this is the movie that would make you quit movies.
Yeah. It's like, Halloween 3. I get the original. It doesn't fit with the franchise. However, it is a good movie on its own because it was supposed to be an anthology, and I get that. But you can't even enjoy this film on its own. It's so stupid.
LG's like, now that I remember it, I should have got my refund. You should have, LDG. You should have.
I watched it for free, and I want my refund.
I have this movie on DVD, but I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, I can't pay people to take it.
It's like, you can't even give it away for free. That's how bad it is.
No.
So, alright, now for my positives. Say what you will, I mean, Robert Englund tried. Like, he is the best actor of this film.
Well,
but again, that's not saying much because he was working with a bunch of broomsticks. Because that's going to be a negative all on its own. Yaphet Kotto, I believe his name was. I think he was the guy who was like the, I guess the dream, sensei? Or is like he's just the guy with the machine and he's like he's so wise about the dreams or whatever. I thought he was pretty cool, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I mean the music, even though it didn't fit.
The music, it was still good, yeah.
The music was it didn't fit with anything, but at least the music was bopping. I was like, yo, this music's kind of good.
Oh, I just remembered that little girl who played the little version of the main girl, the final girl there. She was actually a decent actress for what movie she was in and being like 5 years old.
Yeah. She was sadly one of the better actors of that film.
And she's like 4. Like, bro. Carlos was likable at least.
Carlos was likable, but even then, the characters are just so bland and generic.
Yeah, Carlos was most likable of the bunch. That's why they killed him off first.
Yeah. There were a couple jokes that did make me chuckle, but even then, in a horror movie, jokes are not supposed to make me chuckle. But,
and if they are, it's one and done and they move on. They go back to being serious. This never goes back to being serious. It's never serious.
Like, the whole, the scene where they're in the van and then they had the map and then it just, grew. That was actually pretty, that made me chuckle.
His reaction was priceless.
Oh, where he's like, yeah, well, the map says we're fucked.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Let's see here. as much as the Carlos death, I agree, was just so cartoonish, it's sadly the best kill of the entire film.
If they'd done it like an actual horror movie death, it could have been brilliant. But no.
Let's see here. Poe's like, horror movie? Ah, dang, can't stay, but much love. Thank you, Poe. Honestly, Poe, this is not a horror movie.
It's not
basically
scary.
A comedy.
It's not a horror movie at all.
This was pure on comedy.
And yeah, it was only funny a few times.
I mean, Johnny Depp, I agree, the cameo was cool. And I will say that as much as I didn't like the backstory aspect of the film, I
thought it was stupid.
Alice Cooper being the dad was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Poe's like, really? Yeah, Poe, trust me on this one. It sucks. It's so bad, it's a comedy. It's not even scary.
I can tell that they wanted to make a comedy, but they just, like, aren't funny.
No, they're not. It's like, you know the people who write those, like, scary movie type films?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It's like they wanted to make a comedy movie, but they were stuck with a horror movie IP.
Exactly. Like, it just didn't work. There were two scenes where, when Freddy confronted the blonde girl, I thought that was okay. And the scene where Freddy and Yaphet were talking about, how he died, I thought that scene was probably the best scene of the film, because at least that kind of works.
I don't always like when they retcon stories, and this is one of them. I didn't think him having a daughter, like, it made no sense. Like, if he had a child of his own, why would he want to kill other children? It's just, I don't know, it's stupid. It just didn't make sense. And I'm pretty sure when we were watching, I thought it was because he killed kids because his own daughter got killed. That would have made more sense, even if it's still stupid that they randomly threw in a daughter no one knew about. But it's still just kind of like, okay, so if he's got a family of his own, why is he killing kids? You want to make him like a real life serial killer. He's got another life or whatever. It's stupid, and it doesn't fit Freddy. It's like, if you wanted to do something like that, make a new character, because it's just, you don't need to retcon a pre-existing character who only did this because he was purely evil. If you give him a family and all that, it's just kind of like, why didn't we hear about them beforehand?
Exactly. Let's see here. And the last positive was the end credits, because that meant I didn't have to watch the movie anymore.
Seeing Modern England's name was great.
Yeah. I guess the opening credits was okay too, when like not even before the movie started. It was like literally just like the two quotes and then the song. That was the best.
Was good. Yeah.
Yeah, the quotes were good. Otherwise, I don't really have many other positives. I mean,
it ended. That's a good plus.
Yeah, and for the quote-unquote conclusion to this franchise, this was bad. Not
it. It is not it.
No, and now we're going to get to the real part of this, the negatives. Oh boy, I know we both have a shit ton of negatives for this one, so Angry CareBears, you could start us off.
Oh, if I can even remember half the movie. I think I mentioned a few already, but I think I'm just gonna add on to them. For the story, I thought it was really stupid and unnecessary. I don't know, it's just something like, oh, this kid for some reason's looking for Freddy and he thinks he's his son. And then the plot twist is, no, he's not his son, he dies, and it's his daughter. He had a daughter, and it was the counselor, and he's just with a band of like misfit kids, troublemakers, and for some reason they decide to go into the nightmare house to take a nap. Like, you couldn't sleep in the van. It's just like, everything happens because the script says so, not because it's like realistic or fluid. It's just kind of like, oh, we need to get them in the house. Let's just pretend like they're tired, because every teenager's dream is to sleep on a dusty old bed, right?
Yep.
And just like the whole retcon of like, oh, he's got a wife he killed, and he's got a daughter, and he cared about the daughter. So that's why he went out killing children for. Yeah, and then she found out, and it's like, what? Like, I don't even think if this was a original movie that it'd be any better just because of how it was executed. Everything like was executed so poorly. It's like even they had a good idea, like with Carlos's death, it still just felt wrong. Like I'm in the wrong theater. Like they just wanted so badly to make a comedy film but couldn't, and it just did not work out. Like Freddy makes jokes, yes, but he's not a comedic character. He's still a scary teenage killing, child killing dream monster. Like he's only funny when it's at the expense of a character's like life, pretty much. So it balances out of scary and funny. But this one it's just no. Especially since the characters kind of suck. Like they can be likable or tolerable here and there, but that just either means they're gonna die pretty quickly or they're gonna go back to being a jerk. It just I felt nothing for these characters, and just watching them die, just kind of like okay, whatever. Or it was extremely lame or absolutely stupid, like that. The oh, I'm playing with power, Freddy, video game Freddy. It was embarrassing to watch. And then he just falls down a hole and dies. Where did the hole come from, despite the fact they're in the real world now? I have no idea, because this movie makes no sense. Literally, the dream world and reality interconnect, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just so stupid. Like, there's rules that are set, and they just said, screw it, and whatever. Let's just do whatever we want now. And it's just, it's a face-palming experience.
All right. You got any other negatives?
The acting for the most part was pretty bland. Like, some of it was good, some of it was bland, and other was just kind of like forgettable or even bad. Like, oh my god, it was just, when I say forgettable, I mean it. Like, I was joking that I forgot half the movie. I'm not kidding. I'm trying so hard to remember. It was just that forgettable. I just remember, like, I absolutely hated the video game death, and it was so stupid, and I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, I might be able to jog your memory on some of this because I'm going to go more into detail with some of it. But first off, what's up, Tim? Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, how bad can this movie get? Well, let me tell you, it gets bad after the opening credits. Like, so apparently in this film, Freddy has managed to kill everybody in Springwood. Let me repeat that. He manages to kill everybody, all the kids.
Wait, he killed them all? I thought they all moved out because they were at fear of their kids dying. Because
no, he killed them all.
They said he killed them. I thought they all moved out. And then they were all going nuts because they haven't seen a kid. Like, that's so stupid. Just move out. You'll see a kid if you go to the next town. You mean to tell me you never leave town, ever?
So if that wasn't bad enough, he kills all the kids except for the John Doe character. And then all of a sudden, you start off in a plane, which I don't think comes back, but he literally gets fucking ejected out of the plane. He's in a house. And then if you think this movie isn't a comedy or what's supposed to be, literally Freddy is the fucking Wicked Witch of the West on a broomstick.
It was really bad.
And then, so then fucking he comes out of he has to jump out the window or something. And then he's fucking rolling down a hill for like 2 minutes. I don't even think it was that long, but it felt like 5 hours. So he gets a ticket for this bus, which was actually played by Robert Shea. And by the way, he was basically he ran New Line Cinema and had a cameo, whatever.
Yeah.
And fucking Freddy runs John Doe over with a bus. Like, what? Why the fuck would I want this? And then, now, let's progress. So, of course, the character and the acting is bland. And I agree with you 100%. The acting is bad, it's bland, and forgettable.
Wait,
and
did
the
John
char-
Doe ever have a real name, or was he just John Doe?
He was just John Doe.
So, like, what was the point of him other than to be a red herring and who the true, like, offspring of Freddy was? Like, I thought we were gonna find out who he was. Nah, he's just dead. He's just John Doe.
Exactly. It's like, that shit made no sense. And then the characters are bland. They have the stereotypical, like, one character trait. Like, the blonde-haired girl is angry, and so she likes beating people up. Okay, fine. You got the deaf kid, and then you got the kid who likes video games and smokes pot. Wink, wink. Guess what fucking happens to them? And then, you know, everything's just fucking stupid, bland. And then you get to a nightmare sequence where the John Doe character, apparently, like, it's his memory or whatever, and, like, he was bleeding out of the head, and there was this little girl. At first, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Because I have no clue. And then the memory's like, I'm your fucking memory! And I'm like, what? Huh? What? It's like, and then the guards can't, like, and then he's, like, going up, like, these imaginary staircase, and then the freaking guard is like, don't see that shit? Like, you don't see him, like, going up on an imaginary staircase? I noticed.
It always gets me thinking, it's like, so if he's dreaming what's happening in the real world, and then they're like, oh, the same thing's happening in the real world. It doesn't make sense. The originals are like, oh, he thinks he's doing this, but in reality, he might be just sleepwalking off a building, you know, in 3. It's just, there's no, like, thing that can make you go, oh, maybe he's doing this in the real world, or those show the real world's happening. They ignore it because it wouldn't make sense, and that actually would take thinking and going, oh, that doesn't make sense. Let's rewrite it to be good.
Pretty much. And it's like, okay, the concept of the story of them going to Springwood and finding out Freddy's backstory is interesting, but only if it's done right. This was done horribly. And then the John Doe character, and Lisa's like, I don't even know what, like, so Lisa is having, like, this, like, I don't even remember her character, Maggie. So Maggie has, like,
yeah,
these fucking,
Maggie.
So Maggie's having, like, these nightmares about, like, the water tower or something. I don't know. So they're like, oh, we got to go to Springwood. John Doe's like, no, we shouldn't do that. She's like, yes, we're going to do that. And he's like, okay. And then the pothead, the deaf kid, and the blonde
angry girl, yeah,
and blonde angry girl are trying to get out of the shelter, so they sneak into the truck in the van because they want to go to California or something. I don't know. And then they get caught, but that's before that's before fucking John Doe has, like, a freaking nightmare sequence about the little girl who turns out to be Maggie, but it's in the dream, so we don't know who the little girl is. And so he's like, no, don't run her over. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, this is so dumb and so, And I'm not even in the halfway part yet.
It felt like it never ended. Like, it just felt like everything was getting tacked on. Like, it's all, like, separate movies that they just mashed together.
It's like, it's so weird. And then Maggie's like, okay, well, you kids are going to go, you guys are going to take the van, you're going to go back. Meanwhile, me and John are going to go around and explore.
So how would they, that made me go, it's like, all right, so if they got to take the car, how would they get back? Not to mention, you're going to trust delinquents with your own vehicle as if they weren't trying to escape already? They're just going to, you just trust them to go back to where they came from? It's just, it makes no sense.
So then after that, you know, then the kids in the van go and to this, like, carnival, but there's no kids there because Freddy killed them all. And
so why is there a carnival? No one knows.
Because everyone's crazy.
Oh,
And then And then Tom Arnold and Roseanne shows up, and she's like, "Oh, well, we're gonna take you as our children." But then Tom Arnold's like, "No, you can't do that, or else it'll bring him." And she's like, "No, I want kids." It's like, oh my god. And then meanwhile, John and Maggie go to like the school, and then the teachers talk about Freddy sailing on the open seas, and there's like a bunch of dates about how Freddy caused, the nuclear bomb or something. Like, what? Okay. So, so then the kids in the van, they're kind of going like around in circles because it's like fucking, God, I don't even know how to say it. Like,
it keeps resetting on them, and instead of them actually noticing landmarks or being smart human beings with any type of perception, they just keep going around the same block over and over again until it hits dark. Like, you don't notice the same statue you drove by 17 times?
And so they're like, okay, well, guess what? We're going to have to find a place to sleep for the night. And then they go to the place, and it turns out to be the Nightmare House, because of course it is. Because we got to have that in every movie.
They revealed it was so stupid. It literally was just a backdrop that falls over. Like, they didn't... What? Oh my god. I get it's iconic to the franchise because it's Nancy's house. But, like, what does that have to do with Freddy? It's not any important to him. It was just to Nancy. And he was only there because Nancy was the main character. But,
no, you know what? I'm going to answer that question because they needed something to even resemble. They needed something to even resemble a Nightmare film.
Yeah, because it's like I said, they only do it because it's iconic to the franchise, not because it makes sense.
Exactly. And then, so then Maggie and John are going to this fucking orphanage, and then they're like, and then he just comes to the conclusion at the end of it, after they talk to the woman who's like leading these imaginary children. Then you have all that shit going on, and then he thinks, oh, well, I'm his son. That's why he's keeping me alive. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, here we go. And then and then Carlos dies because of the whole, nightmare sequence. And while it is the best kill of the entire film,
it's not well done.
No, it's not.
It could have been so good. Nothing makes me more upset in a movie or a game or book or whatever when I hear such a good idea or scenario or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta watch this. And I watch it, and it's so poorly done. And I'm like, what a wasted opportunity. Honestly.
That was me with Spider-Man 3.
Okay, buddy. Let's not get into that right now.
All right, you're right. We're talking about one bad movie. We don't need to talk about another one.
Masterpiece.
Anyway, so Carlos's death was bad, even though I thought it was the best kill of the entire film because it was so fucking goofy. Like when Freddy's like dropping the nails, like there's like this fucking like cartoonish sound effect, and then
it was such like good suspense, and then they ruin it. If it was completely silent and just like, we watched her like his like smug expression. Instead of his goofy face, he keeps making this goofy face, and it's like, dude, no, Freddy's smug. And Carlos is like, he's got this terrified face, and you see the nail just like slowly dropping. The suspense could have been so good if there was not a single sound. We hear what Carlo hears, which is nothing. But no, they had to get like Looney Tunes sound effects of like the whistle as it's falling over and over. It wasn't even just one time. It was just constantly. And it was like, I love the part where he jumps down and he catches the nail. And you're like, oh, phew, we know it's not going to go well, but oh my god, like the suspense had a plot twist. And then he throws all the nails, and that's the moment this is it. But no, the stupid sound effects ruin it.
Well, we got Ninjoid in the chat. What's up, Ninjoid? Thank you for the intro, by the way. The intro was fire. Ninjoid says, Angry CareBears, Austin still wants some cheese.
Yeah, I commented on my video you wanted cheese, and I guess you're not getting it.
I guess not.
This is so sad.
Really is. It's big sad. Can we get it? Can we get an F in the chat for?
Can we get
big
a few
sad?
likes?
Jackson, it's crazy that you've not given up. They gave up on the movie so long ago. You right? The writers, the directors, they all just phoned it in by this film. Yeah, no, they don't just phone it in. They
want
ain't even.
money.
They ain't even phoning in.
They
They
just want
lost
money.
reception.
That's it.
Jackson, I just want to see Austinator in the theater going Hulk. By the end of the movie, what is this crap? Jackson's like, not enough LDGs in the world to ask for the money back. Yeah, we need to start doing that.
They can't keep getting away with this.
They just keep getting away with it because we keep giving them money and we got to stop doing that. Great minds do think of like, Austin, you should get Angry CareBears on more.
Oh, thank you.
Kavari's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
Cool guy. Because me and Kavari, we think alike. Fuck Zack Snyder! Jackson's like, not enough Austinators who will talk so much trash come out of the theater. Everyone can see how bad it was. Thank you. You know, if I go see a Marvel movie from now on, I'm just gonna be like, yo, this movie was trash.
No, the only movie that made me actually want to fight the director, like I wanted to find this man. Okay. I wanted to put an end to this. I wanted to stop him for good. No more directing. Was that new Resident Evil movie, Welcome to Raccoon City. Oh my god. I know we're not reviewing it, but all I gotta say, that's the only movie. At least Freddy's Dead didn't make me want to fight someone.
Are you sure about that?
Well, when it was putting me to sleep, at least I can say it was a lullaby. Not a good one, but...
Oh, you know what's really fucking weird about this? So, I don't know if you heard about the documentary Never Sleep Again, but apparently with this film, there was 47 minutes of footage that was removed.
And the movie was like, what? How long was it?
Let's see here. I think it was...
It was like over 2 hours, wasn't it?
89 minutes. So it barely got the hour and a half mark.
It felt like 3 hours.
Oh my god. Now I want to see I want to see the extended cut of this film.
I don't. You can watch that by yourself, bud.
Oh, we're watching it together.
Oh, no, I thought I was done.
Trust me, if it ever comes out, we're going to watch it.
Oh, please keep it canned for good. Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. We got to get back to my negatives here.
Yeah.
So fucking they come back to the house and apparently Carlos just magically disappears.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works. Poof. He just disappears.
Shouldn't he be sleeping in that bed still?
Like, shouldn't his head be just like destroyed?
Exploded? Yeah. Or like they could have said some kind of rupture in the eardrums. I don't know. Put pressure on his brain or something if they want to describe it in like a realistic sense, or I don't know, something than just him disappearing. Anything would have been better.
And then fucking angry blonde. So then she's trying to find him. Meanwhile, the pothead like gets high, and then he sees Carlos on the TV.
And did the stupid giggle. The stupid, oh, I'm so high. Like, bro. Oh my god.
And then Johnny Depp does the fucking egg, like, drug commercial. And then that's when we get one of the worst kills I've ever seen in a film. With the fucking power glove. Like.
Now I'm playing with power. Like, bro, what?
Like, let's think about this. The power glove was for the NES. Meanwhile, Super Nintendo was out by this point, so the NES was outdated, which means the Power Glove is outdated. So they're too fucking late with this one. Like,
wait, what year? This movie was 91, right?
Yeah.
I thought the Power Glove was a bit later, or at least around that time.
Yeah,
still good.
See. Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo came out November 21st, 1990.
Bro.
Hang on, I want to see when the Power Glove came out. When the fuck did this thing come out? I want to know.
Am I the only one who thought like Freddy's voice sounded like really weird in this movie? Like it was like really weirdly distorted, deep, not like regular Freddy. It just sounded over edited to me, and it just didn't fit right. Like it didn't sound scary. It just sounded goofy.
Oh. It was the Power Glove was released in, get this, December 3rd, 1989.
Wow. I thought the Power Glove was mid-90s. I'm not gonna lie.
And then to top it all off, the Power Glove was discontinued in 1990.
Wow. That's
And
sad.
this movie came out a year after it was discontinued. Like, what? Oh my god. Wait, what? I made 200 subs.
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Well, fuck, I guess I gotta do a celebration stream then. Yeah! Thank you guys. Holy crap. Damn.
Nice.
Wow. Holy shit. Jax was like, and if you're going to talk trash, you need to do it just the right way. It needs to get the point across and how dumb it was, but still not give it away. You need to remember that if you're coming out of the theater, they have not seen it yet. Oh, well, I'll find a way. Sam's like, congrats on 200 subs. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate it. Yeah, so as I'm continuing on with this fucking Power Glove, that pissed me off because they discontinued it a year after. God, okay. So outdated kill aside, so then in order for John to come out and be like, all right, in the dream thing, because he has to go in and save the pothead, but he's not going to save him. He needs to be asleep. So you know how he goes to sleep? He gets knocked the fuck out with a 2x4, and that blonde angry chick is like meditation or whatever, and then she kicks Freddy in the nuts. Like I got kicked in the nuts watching this film.
Let me stop you right there. All right. First off, one blow to the head with a 2x4 isn't always going to knock you out. And if it does, you're going to have a lot more to worry about than just Freddy. Let me tell you, head injuries, not good. And meditation doesn't put you to sleep. You're still conscious. So it's like, if you're not in REM, you're not going to be seeing Freddy. So that was really stupid.
So then all that happens. John's still unconscious. He's probably close to dead at this point. So then fucking John's in the bed. He's back in the house, and then the bed catches on fire because he's like, I'm not leaving this bed. And then they catch it on fire. And then he has to jump out the window again. And then guess what? Guess what happens? I shit you not. He pulls on a cord, and his shirt turns into a parachute. And then fucking Freddy is like inside the parachute. He's spinning around like a fuck. And then we find out that John's actually not his kid, but he actually has a daughter. Oh yeah, he cuts the fucking parachute, and I swear to God, this came out of Looney Tunes. Like fucking John's dropping. Freddy is like, pushing like this bed of nails. And then it's like, and he's out of breath. John drops, and he dies. Because of course he does.
I thought the way his chest explodes, though, props to the makeup department on that. That looked cool, at least. Though the death was stupid. At least that looked cool.
And then he disappears. And then Freddy fucking says, like, it's traveling time. And then it's like fucking came out of Power Rangers. I'm like, why?
Oh,
and
dude. It made me want it was so cringy. It made me want to just shut off my laptop right then and there.
And then he goes in, like, Maggie's head or whatever. And then she has, like, this reaction of, wow, that was weird.
Yo, wait, what was that? Like, he, possesses her, and then they never bring it up again? Like, it just cuts to the next scene, and they act like it never happened. Like, what was that?
I don't know. And then fucking everybody forgets who, like, the kids were that were in there, except for 3 of them.
That makes no sense. He's a dream demon, not a altering reality demon. Like, the only reality he can alter is what you see in your dreams.
Exactly. It's like, fuck. This entire film don't make sense.
It's like, oh my god. It's like they had ideas for 7 different types of movies for 17 different movies. And they just jammed all the genres and films they wanted to make together. And it's just like they got confused while making it. And it's like, oh, here you go. Freddy's dead.
And then Freddy, then it's found out that fucking Maggie is his daughter, Catherine, that's her name. And then Freddy comes in. He's like, every town has an Elm Street, which was cool, except we've seen it in every fucking trailer, so it's not as cool. And then Freddy's wreaking havoc, and then it's like revealed, oh, you got to go into the dream, to bring him into real life. Like, we haven't seen that before.
Yeah,
but
we've seen it in every movie.
But instead, she has to put on 3D glasses.
Oh, dude. That was when I folded. I was out. I wanted so badly to step away from the film, but I needed to watch all of it. But, oh, boy.
Like, and then you have fucking Freddy, and then they tell his backstory, which the backstory was so fucking dumb. It's like, it's so generic, It's like, oh, he was just a kid that was misunderstood, and he was bullied and he was abused. It's like, bruh, couldn't we have just kept it with the mom, basically gets trapped in the asylum thing?
Yeah, like, all right. Well, I thought they said in the previous movie that he grew up in the asylum and he was exposed to all these insane people. Anyway, like I said this about the Rob Zombie Halloween films, and I'm going to say it here again. If the reason why Michael Myers was so scary is because you couldn't diagnose him. You didn't know what was wrong with him because his upbringing was good. So you don't know how he went wrong. With Freddy Krueger, it's kind of the same thing. Like, yes, he had a darker backstory. He didn't have a happy upbringing, especially in how he came to be. However, what made him scary is because he learned that evil from what was around him, not because he was bullied. Like, that's so generic, stupid, and it's like you're trying to make us sympathize with a child killer. Like, okay, like, yes, people who are bullied can snap one day, but guess what? It doesn't make them scary. Like, what made him scary is because he grew up watching awful things as a kid and knowing where he came from, and he just kind of learned that evilness, not, oh, he was just treated badly by other kids. Like, did you know if you got bullied, you're not going to become a serial killer? Like, why is every movie, if you get bullied, you're just bound to become a serial killer?
Because no one's creative. And then we find out Freddy killed his wife because she found out about what he was doing, even though that was just so... What? And then you had Then you had fucking, Freddy, we find out how he gets his powers is because because like 3 sperm fucking come up to him and say, hey, you want to have superpowers and you want to be evil? And then he was like, yeah.
It was dude, like, what's scary about some things is, like, you don't need to explain everything that happens. It's just the fear of the unknown. But this, oh my god. It was so stupid just on how the way they explain it, and it just takes away the mystery. Instead of, like, he died and he came back as some demon.
I mean, that's exactly what it was. And, the thing was, too, and especially towards the end, where you have fucking, now I lost my train of thought. Then you had fucking Freddy, he gets brought back, even though his head blows up into a fucking balloon. Like, that shit was stupid. Sean's like, Freddy died? Yeah, he kind of did. Kind of did a little bit. Dax was like, did you make Austinator watch the new Resident Evil just like you made you watch Freddy? No, she did not. She did not. I feel like she's going to force me to, though. I thought he was just a demon. Kind of was. Then this movie fucked it up. She was like, I was bullied and I haven't killed anyone that you know of. Oh, boy. Sean's still okay. So we get to the end of the film, and of course they're still in the dream, but apparently they're not, so this doesn't make any sense either. So Freddy turned out to be normal, sort of. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to do all the things I did because I was bullied or whatever. I'm like, yep, whatever. And then fucking, oh god. So fucking, they have their scuffle, and this last death scene makes me want to fucking lose my shit because of how disrespectful it is to this. Like, this death scene pissed me off so much. So, Actually, I forgot to mention this. I think we both forgot to mention this. So this orphanage or this shelter or whatever has like fucking weapons just hanging out in the open, just like anyone could grab them in the basement. And then fucking the way Freddy goes out and he and his daughter have like this huge fight. She breaks his hand, and then Freddy gets stabbed with a bunch of things. Like, okay, if you ended it with just Freddy getting stabbed with his glove or whatever, okay, fine, I guess. But then to add insult to injury, you put a fucking pipe bomb in his chest.
He's like, kids, and then he blows up. Like, that was like, that's some like comedy skit type stuff, dude. Like that. Oh my god.
And then the 3 sperms show up again. And then they're out of the dream. So then technically that means Freddy ain't fucking dead.
It's just so stupid. And
like,
then it ends with her just saying Freddy's dead with a smile and a freeze frame, and it ends like a Full House episode. I was waiting for Bob Saget to walk out. Like,
honestly, that movie might have been much better if fucking Bob Saget showed up.
At least then I could just go, yo, they really are self-aware of how bad this is. But I don't think they were.
And then have it be revealed that Bob Saget was fucking Freddy Krueger all along.
Would have been a better plot twist. Well, like the way Freddy was talking, where he's like, they were going to take me away from you, so I had to show them. Or like, what was he saying? Like, it implied that he was killing kids because she was taken away. But that doesn't make any sense, because that's why she killed his wife, was because he was killing kids. And it was just, it made no sense. And it just made me want to cry.
And then, thank God, the credits aired after that. Yeah. I was like, thank fuck, this movie was done. It's like, the way I think of this movie is, if you're drunk or if you're high, you might get a kick out of this film.
It's like things killing 1 and 3. They are not good, horrible things. But if you're willing to get under the influence, it's going to be a blast to watch.
It's like this movie, it's bad. Like, you can't really, I don't know, you can't really say this movie's good. Because honestly, if you are, you're lying to yourself. I'm not saying that to be a dick, because if you like this movie, I don't know how you do, but I would respect your opinion even if I would look at you like, what the fuck are you smoking,
I won't. What are you thinking?
Like, this movie's bad. I mean, just let's take away, like, the bad acting from it, because, yes, there are good movies with bad acting in it. But
there are a lot of good stuff with bad acting.
But a story that makes no sense, a backstory to a character that didn't fucking need it. You had it turned into a comedy. Even if the
horrible.
Like, I agree, the music was good, but it doesn't fit with your film. And then to top it all off, you had just bad, you're right, bad editing. It felt like a parody.
It really, like, I don't know, like, just like the tone of the movie and the lighting made it look like a sitcom. It didn't have any like eerie or darker lighting. It just looked too bright and upbeat. I got no creepy vibes. Like, when they'll enter like an abandoned house, it still doesn't feel like a horror movie.
You're right.
It looks like one of those cheesy 90s like haunting shows where it's like super low budget. That's what it looked like when they were in the haunted house or like the abandoned house. Like, it was not a low budget film, so why does it look low budget?
Exactly.
And
you know what? Either. Say what you will about Nightmare on Elm Street 5 and 4, but at least you could tell there was some effort put in.
At least you could tell it's a nightmare film.
Like, this was bad. No wonder why they don't put Nightmare on Elm Street in the title. Because then everybody would be thinking, well, maybe this movie might be decent.
Yeah, don't watch it.
like this movie, I just don't recommend whatsoever.
Nope. I only
Like-
recommend it if you're under the influence or you really, really hate yourself and you want to torture yourself for a bit. Here you go.
Now, keep in mind, this is not the worst movie I've ever watched. Because honestly, there's way worse. But as a
And
nightmare
still
film, this was horrible.
It was not it.
Like, this isn't even a good horror film.
It's not a horror film. I've seen an article arguing that it's not a horror film, and I'm like, yeah, you're right.
It's
It
like
is
saying
not.
the fucking
There's no
sky is
horror
blue.
elements. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this movie isn't a fucking horror film because honestly, there's nothing scary about it. It's just, I don't know. This movie was bad. I mean, do we even need to give our final thoughts at this point? Because I think we just gave them.
I give
like-
this movie an F.
Yeah, I give it an F too. I gave it the benefit of the doubt because I haven't seen it in a while. I'm like, Robert Englund was in it. It can't be that bad. No, it's bad. Like, it's so bad, not even Robert Englund can save it.
Nope. It didn't even seem like Robert Englund until I saw him without the makeup.
Like, damn, like, fucking poor Robert Englund. I feel so bad for him. He had to have been drugs doing this movie.
He saw that paycheck and agreed.
Like, I would like to... I would like to think Robert Englund did it out of just, like, pure, like, he likes the character. But even then, like, couldn't you have enough respect for the character to, like, not do it?
Yeah, but I feel like if they got someone else, though, it would have been just so much worse. And if he wanted just the money and the paycheck, you know what? Good for him.
Exactly. And you know what? Despite the okay acting at best, with the best actor being Robert Englund and the music that didn't even fit, it's still a trash movie.
Yeah, it's just, like I said with Halloween 3, that doesn't really fit with the rest of the franchise because of the original route they were going. That you can still enjoy as a good movie because it's a genuinely good movie. You can't even do that with this. It's not good. Even if you saw it as a non-nightmare movie, it still sucks.
Yeah, it's bad. Like I said before, I can say this now, is that at least with 5, it tried and at least had an original idea. This idea was just, this entire film was stupid.
There was just nothing that made you go, ooh. And, like, the only good idea was a death sequence, not even a plot point. Like, jeez.
That you know how bad this movie is. Yeah. This movie's bad. It's an F. I mean, honestly, this is the worst nightmare film thus far.
Yeah.
Like,
if anyone wants to say that the remake is worse than this, at least the remake had some interesting ideas and was watchable. This made me want to cry.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, though, both the remake and this are bad, but, at least the remake, tried to retell the story.
It had interesting, like, micro sleeps. It had interesting things to bring to the table. It can say, oh, what can we do different? Even if it fell on its face half the time, it's still better than this.
Yeah, this movie was horrible. And at least, next week we're actually going to be talking about a good movie. Because New Nightmare is next. I'm like, thank God I get to rewatch this. Thank God. We don't got to watch fucking Freddy's Dead.
It's over. I'm done with this. At least now we can watch the interesting meta nightmare movie, New Nightmare. And then we got Freddy v. Jason and then the remake.
And then we're done with the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
Yeah. Woo.
Thank God.
It's such a good character and movie. And just, like, the way that the sequels just kind of kill it, except for, like, 3 and 2. It's just like, oh my God.
Absolutely. So we reached the hour mark. We're going to wrap this up, but I'm going to go through the chat because I do feel bad that I kind of ignored the chat a little bit. Let's see here. So much fun this way it is it not? Some people just play the game so much better. How many people think Austinator came out on top being forced to watch the new Resident Evil stuff? I have not seen the new Resident Evil.
It's not a good movie at all. I'm
It
a
is
huge
not.
Resident Evil fan, and it was just not it.
And being forced to watch Angry CareBears be the one going Hulk on how bad it was in the way of someone who wanted to like it. LOL. And memes of destruction. Happy New Year, everybody. Hail memes and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody that came in the chat. I want to thank Memes of Destruction, Jack's Law, Sean. I want to thank Samuel, Ninjoid, Kavari, LDG, Tim, Poe. I saw Eli Who in the chat. Guys, thanks for coming in, man. I definitely appreciate it. And of course, we got a troll in the chat. It's fine. I'll get rid of them. But yeah, we're done. At least with Freddy's dead. Angry CareBears, where can they find you at?
You can find me on YouTube at Angry CareBears and very rarely on Twitch at Angry CareBears 2.
And you can find her usually on Saturdays on my channel when I'm actually doing the show.
Sometimes Tuesdays, depending if the other two want to join.
Exactly. Jerry, Jonathan, you might be watching. You're probably not. But let's go, you
want to
motherfuckers.
review the new Spider-Man.
Yeah, we're going to review. You know what? We're just going to talk about the MCU in general in 2021. Yes, peace memes. Yeah, I got my channel. I just reached 200, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
There's so much I could say, but thank you. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this.
Hey, you deserve it, bro.
I definitely appreciate it. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Shadow Eye, we are reviewing all the MCU releases that came out in 2021. So that would include WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man. We're not counting Venom Let There Be Carnage because it's not an MCU release. Monday, you can find me on Good Old Wrestling on my channel where we're talking about the best and worst of wrestling in 2021. And you can usually find me Tuesdays for Austinator Friends Talk Pop Culture. We're not bringing it back this week because I still don't know what the fuck is going on with everything else, but we're getting it in gear, hopefully.
I want it back. I miss it.
Oh, I hope we can bring it back. Splash Talk Splash Talk will probably be on Thursdays still. And you can find me on other channels like the Real View 3000 for the weekly wrap up and the Book of Boba Fett Roundtable. Ninjoid 243's channel, which will probably be the Droid Cantina very soon with Galactic Chat, and I do videos over there on his channel. And you can basically just find me on everybody's channel. Sauerkraut's channel when he does streams. Dylan's Little Hobbies channel when he does streams. Comic Chat. You can just find me everywhere. LDG's channel. At this point, everybody's channels, right? Like, I'm just everywhere. And lastly, you can find me on Twitter at the Austinator17. Sometimes I tweet. Sometimes I retweet. Sometimes I don't. It's a lottery.
Sometimes we get banned, too. That's how
that too. But otherwise, guys, I appreciate all of you in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you for 200 subs. 200 sub celebration coming soon. Guys, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Peace, love, and hugs. Love you all. Love you 3,000. Love you 10,000.
Ooh.
You guys
Bumping
are great.
it up for everyone.
Absolutely. And with that, the long-awaited Freddy's Dead review is over. This is the Austinator. This is Angry CareBears signing out.
Bye.
Later, guys.
That's awesome.